Hello everybody, how's it going?
Is it essentially the middle of the year right now? Yes. Am I still going to do a 2025 vinyl collection update that only includes records that I got last year and none of the very kind of many that I've gotten this year so far? Yes. Without further ado, because I've wasted enough time already, we're going to start off with Dive, the debut album by Almost Monday. This is on a nice, cool little picture disc, which is just a little swirl, and it looks really cool while it rotates on the turntable. And also, I just wanted to say that I am usually not a fan of getting picture discs. They are never my first choice when it comes to buying vinyl. However, this record has only been pressed on picture disc thus far, and I wanted to get it, and I got it, and it sounds really good actually, so I'm glad I got it, because I love when a picture disc looks good and sounds good. Yeah, this is the quality content you waited for. Next up we have this is not Dangerous Woman. Next up we have Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. My second favorite album of hers, right behind Dangerous Woman. This is pressed on a pink and clear split vinyl, which is very cool, and I think it fits the tone of the album perfectly. This album slaps. Outside of 7 Rings. I definitely like it more than I did when it first dropped, but when I say like, I mainly mean tolerate. I will not turn it off when it is on, and that is all I have to say about that. Here we have Never Always, now titled Never Always Volume 1. Good thing that I waited to do this, I guess, by the band Camino, even though it does say on the back, Volume 1. So I guess it was always kind of titled that, but nonetheless, this is the first half of their 22-track album, and you will get the second half in next year's video. Anyway, the version I have is on a yellow and black marble vinyl, which is pretty cool and fits the vibe pretty well, I would say. And the reason that I have the indie record store exclusive, aside of the fact that you should always support your local record store when you can, is that the band actually did an in-person signing at a record store near me on release day. So that was such a cool way to ring in this new album, because I basically waited outside in my car until it was ready while I bumped this album in my car. And now I have it physically, and it's great. Also, these men are super nice, so shout out Band Camino. Look at that, I'm wearing the shirt. Who knew? Whoa. Whoa, who's that you see through that tunnel, you may ask? No, not Bruno Mars. It's Beach Bunny with their third album, Tunnel Vision. This is on purple marbled vinyl. And I'm very glad that I picked up this variant, because it is the best variant of them all, in my opinion. And just like you will probably hear me say many more times in this video, I think that it fits the album cover very well. The next record is a Beatles record. Help, live in concert. Not an official recording at all. This is a picture disc. And it uses the picture disc format pretty weirdly, in my opinion, because the front is what would be the album cover, and the back is like the track list and some QR codes, one for a podcast and one for an ebook, and it just doesn't look good. And you may be asking, does it at least sound good? The answer is no. It sounds very bad. It's who knows who recorded this. It's very odd. I don't know if I regret buying it. No, I don't. But it's something to have in my collection. Shout out the Beatles. I don't know. If you know me, you know that I never miss a record store day. So here is the first of quite a few that you will see in this video. This is Live by Billie Eilish, a selection of 4 songs from Hit Me Hard and Soft, but live. And they're also pretty good as well. This album does include a live version of L'amour de ma vie, and it is only the first half of the song, but that's totally okay, because I just saw the Hit Me Hard and Soft concert movie, and she only performed like the second half of the song, so I'm glad to have a live version of the first half, which is just as good in a very different way. Here we have Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen, and if you've seen my previous vinyl collection videos, you may be asking, Gabe, don't you already have Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen? My answer to that is, well, yes, but this is the 10-year anniversary version, which has all the bonus tracks, all the deluxe tracks that were previously not on vinyl, with a selection of entirely new tracks that she released for this 10-year anniversary. And they're all bangers! This is a 2LP, although I'm a little bit disappointed because there is no gatefold at all. But to make up for that, this is on a very pretty magenta swirl. Here we have The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess by Chappell Roan, and this is literally an album that I got solely because I realized that I did not have it. And one day I was at my local record store and it was there. And I'm like, you know what? It's time. Even though this album came out in 2023, obviously it really took off in 2024. And she had a lot of really huge performances that year, including but not limited to this Bonnaroo set, which, by the way, you can't see me, but I was there. Sorry to flex on you, but I had to do it. And speaking of Chapel, I also have the Record Store Day exclusive 7-inch of The Giver. Well, this is The Giver. And this is The Subway. I only heard her perform this song live that one year. I'm gonna stop flexing.
And I forgot to say this, but this record is pressed on what is called Lavender Daydream.
I have 2 albums by Joe. Of course, Decide, which this album cover is kind of unbeatable, but then again, so is his other album that followed, The Crux, which is especially great to have on vinyl just because of all the little details of it. It's jam-packed with a bunch of things. And I love the back cover too, because he is, in fact, hanging out of that window right there. Sorry, the lighting is messing with me. Maybe I should have spent more time on it. I'm sorry. And I would also like to point out the fact that the hype sticker is really funny because it says featuring these songs, as most hype stickers do, except it just lists the entire track list and it's awesome. While I've been begging them to press their debut album X, the Driver Era dropped their album Obsession, and I really like this cover here, like obviously the cover art, but also just the way it feels, because it's like really nice cardstock, which I don't have many records that feel this way, if any at all, and it's awesome. And the variant of this album that I have is Royal Blue. Kind of funny story about this next album, but I'll introduce it first. This is Onion by the band Hard Life, formerly known as Easy Life, and I think I kind of went through that the previous time I got a record from them. But anyway, I want to say about like a week and a half maybe before this album dropped, they decided to pull all physical copies of this album because they removed a song due to maybe like legal reasons. On streaming, the song is there, but it's only the instrumental. Here you have the fully uncut song, and it's really annoying because it might be one of the best songs of the album, like top 3, I'm so serious. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, how do you have this album if they pulled all physical copies of it? The answer is, since it was so close to the release day that they made this decision, some slipped through the cracks. And I went to my local record store to ask if they could order it, and they could, and now I have it. And it's good. They have not repressed this album yet, but if they ever do, it's probably not gonna have that song, so I'm very glad that I have this. I just wish that it was on streaming too, that's all. The instrumental by itself does still go pretty hard though, I will say. Here we have Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party by Hayley Williams. I am so glad that this album exists as an album, not just because it's really good, which it is, but also when she first put this album out, she released every song except for the last 3 as a single at one time. And so basically you had to listen to all the songs and put together your own order, which was really tedious, even though I did put together my own order. And I can say that, honestly, this order is better than the one I put together. The variant I have is Translucent Blue, even though, I'll be honest, to me, it just looks like a gray swirl. But that's okay, because it does match the album cover, so I can't really complain. This next record is one that I've needed for a really long time. This is the High School Musical 2 soundtrack. The best High School Musical and the best High School Musical soundtrack. And it's blue. Translucent blue, marbled to be specific. But nonetheless, it is blue, and it's like the pool, basically. And it's so good, and it's silly, maybe to people who have not seen this movie. It's so nostalgic. But there's also just genuinely really solid songs on this, like What Time Is It? Work This Out, You Are the Music in Me, I Don't Dance, Gotta Go My Own Way, Bet on It, Every Day. I just named nearly every track. Absolute banger. Here I have a gift from my sister. This is a signed copy of Jake Miller's Silver Lining 2. I don't have Silver Lining 1, but I'm not upset because I do think this one is a lot better, low-key. At the very least, I definitely go back to the songs on this one way more. And this one is on an opaque orange. Surprisingly, the only Kendrick Lamar album that I own, this is GNX, which is kind of, in some ways, his most fun album, I guess. Like, you got Squabble Up, you got... The track list is not on the back. I was gonna look on there. But nonetheless, as you can see here, this one is on blue vinyl. The in-person signing for the Band Caminos album is not the only in-person signing I went to last year, because I went to a record store to get this signed by Knox. This is his album, Going, Going, Gone. It is on white vinyl. And something I really like about this is the fact that this is a 2LP and every side of it says Going, except for the final side, side D, which says Gone. I think that's fun. Outside of the deluxe editions that they have never pressed, and may never press for all we know at this point, I am officially up to date with my Laney album discography. Here we have their self-titled album Laney, Mama's Boy, which is pressed on clear vinyl, as you can see here, and finally their latest album, Soft, and this is pressed on maroon. And I'd be lying if I said I did not like the way that the O goes around the record. I think that's such a cool detail. I also forgot to mention the fact that the text on here is raised, and the same goes with the text on the back for the track list. Yet another one for the list of records that I picked up purely because I saw them in my local record store and thought, why don't I have this yet? This is Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. Obviously. And his name is John C. Here I have the Peacemaker Season 2 soundtrack, and the cover is like, it's like soft paper. I don't know how to explain it, but nonetheless, both this cover and the record itself, which is a translucent red, blue, and clear split vinyl, it reminds me of popsicles and ice cream. And I love it. Oh, how I love me some Posty. Here we have Hollywood's Bleeding, which is pressed on pink vinyl, and I did not know that it would be pink until I opened it, so that was a very pleasant surprise. Also, part of the cover is raised, so that is very nice. And then it seems he had a very busy record store day here, because he has 2 record store day releases. The first of which is his tribute to Nirvana, which is the live stream that he did during the lockdown, and it is pressed on a very bright yellow vinyl. And finally here we have Long Bed, the F1 Trillion Deluxe solo tracks, which were previously unpressed on vinyl, although they were pressed on an exclusive tour version of the full album, and those reselled for a lot. So I'm very glad that he released a record store day version of just the deluxe tracks, because I already have the main album. And this one is pressed on orange. Next I have 2 Sabrina Carpenter records, the first of which is a bootleg of her NPR Tiny Desk session. And even though it's a bootleg, I have to say, they kind of cooked with this marbled blue pressing. It looks so nice. I don't know how bootlegs work, but man, they really pulled this one off so well. Even if Bad Chem is not the name of the song. And then here I have one of the alt covers of Man's Best Friend, and this is on a black and white split. And also, don't ask me how I managed to snag this before it sold out. Here we have This Is It by The Strokes. This is an album that I did not get into until a couple years ago when I was at a bookstore with my friend Colin, and he found the CD there, and he picked it up because he loves this album, and then we played it in his car, and the rest is history. Speaking of which, if you've looked at the credits of some of the videos on my main channel, you definitely know who Colin is. Next up, I have another gift from my sister. This is the Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift. I have never seen a record jacket like this before, because like you go to open it up, right? And then it's like a book. It's like all the lyrics and stuff. This is kind of crazy. I appreciate the commitment to the idea. And also, this is pressed on white vinyl because I feel like with this cover, what else are you gonna press it on? But the Swiftiness does not end there, because here we have The Life of a Showgirl, and this is also a very interesting record jacket because you open it up and it's like, wait, where do you get the record out from? Oh, the top, apparently. There it is. And as you can see here, it is on a glittery orange vinyl, which honestly I kind of thought would affect the sound, but outside of in between the tracks, it sounds pretty great. Also, I don't care what you have to say about that album. It is fun, and I do not care about your opinion. Next up, we have Toy Story, Songs from Infinity, or To Infinity and Beyond. My bad. It's basically every non-score song from the Toy Story movies. So like obviously you got A Friend in Me, Strange Things, Woody's Roundup, that kind of stuff. And very soon, this is about to be an incomplete collection of songs. So will they repress this with whatever songs we get from 5? Who is to say right now? Why hello there! All of the footage you've seen up until now was shot well over 2 months ago, and I finally got around to editing, as if it hasn't taken long enough to get this video out, and I noticed, hey, I'm missing the footage of me talking about the last 10 records. So here I am over 2 months later to finally talk about the last 10 records of this video so I can finally get this video out! But it's more like talking about 9.5 records in this video because I wasn't done talking about this one yet. This record is on a zoetrope vinyl, and if you don't know what that is, it's where you have these little images all around the record, and then when you spin the record, the images move. Or at least that's what's supposed to happen, because when you spin this record, it looks like this. However, there are a few different apps out there, which this does not advertise by the way, where you can record it in a very specific FPS, and then it'll show you the actual picture, and it looks like this, and I think it's really cool. It's just a shame that it doesn't look like that in person and you have to look through a phone, but nonetheless. In all honesty, I didn't even buy this for the specific pressing. I just bought it because I wanted to have all of these songs on one vinyl record, and now I do. Now, of course, it would not be a proper Bagel Gabe 2 record collection video without some 21 Pilots. So here's some 21 Pilots, starting off with this box, actually, not what's inside quite yet, but this box. I've never ordered a record where it comes in a really detailed box, because of course you have the logos on the front, and also details on the side, and of course on the back you have the Blurry Face album cover, which, spoiler alert, this is in fact a variant of Blurry Face, and to be more specific, it is the Blurry Face 10-year anniversary vinyl / coffee table book. So of course you just slip this right off. There we go. And here's just a quick look at that. It has all of the tracks listed as well as BFX, Blurry Face 10 of course. And then on the back, it has a design for every single track. And going to the book itself, we have this kind of reflective look for the cover. And when you open it up, on the other side of the cover, right here, you can pull out the vinyl, at least the first of two, because it is a 2LP. And I won't be pulling out this vinyl right now because it can be a little bit difficult, but here is what it looks like. It is a very nice red, and they changed the middle label sticker. I don't know the proper terminology for it, but they changed it to match the red, and I think that is really cool. And just kind of giving a little bit of an idea, there's no lyrics, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's just a bunch of like different photos from their tours of the time, as well as some more artistic things and photo shoots, and it's very neat, and you kind of get the gist. And also the second record, of course, is on the back, and there's nothing on the back there. Speaking of Blurry Face, another thing that they released for that 10-year anniversary is the Doubt Demo 7-inch single. And it's just a black record, and of course on side A they have the Doubt Demo, but on the back they actually have Tyler etched into the record, so that is pretty cool. And now taking it way back, here we have their unofficial second album, Regional at Best. I literally just stumbled upon it at a record store in Boston, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it. They're never pressing this, so. And something about the track list that I want to bring up real quick is that there is an original demo of House of Gold pre-Vessel, and it says on here that that's included, but when you listen to it, it's literally just the Vessel version. So that's the only real copyright infringement on this, I guess. I promise this will be the last 21 Pilots album in this video. Here is Breach, of course, their latest album. This is the FPE version, and if you didn't know, it came numbered, so that's pretty cool. I don't know how well you can see that. It is 1,607, so pretty neat. And this variant is yellow. I promise we are nearing the end now because this video is alphabetical, and every remaining record you will see in this video starts with a W. So here is Wallow's EP, More. And I do want to bring up real quick that this piece of tape is real, and it was kind of advertised in a way of like, oh, you peel off the tape so you can get the record out. But I was like, it's a part of the album cover. It will lose its stickiness if I keep untaping it and taping it back on. So I was like, let me just cut it in the middle. So, now it's always there. And I'm a really big fan of the way this pressing looks. It is on a beautiful evergreen and white. Funny enough, I don't have Wicked Part 1 on vinyl, but I do have Wicked for Good. This is the Record Store Day Black Friday release with this exclusive cover, and it is on a 2LP picture disc where every side is the yellow brick road, which I honestly really like. I saw a lot of people complaining about it, saying they wished it was something different, but to that I say,
have some whimsy, please, we are begging.
Next up is Cheeky Giants by Wild Party. This is their second album, which is honestly really funny because there's about, what, an 11-year gap between albums? But you know what? It honestly sounds like they never left. So if you told me this album came out 2 years after their first one, I'd be like, Yeah, that makes total sense. When they put this out, they had signed copies limited to the first 50 people to purchase them, and I was one of those people. Love that for me. Not to flex on you or anything. This indie band that you don't even know. Okay, speaking of indie bands that you don't know but probably should, here we have the self-titled EP Wilt by the band Green Day. But it's actually called Wilt Deluxe because it also includes a side B where it's all of the standalone tracks that they released before this EP. So it's really cool to have those. And it also includes a bonus track that is not available on streaming. So I love that as well. And of course, yes, as you can see, it is signed, but they weren't selling signed copies or anything like that. The funny story about it is that they were doing an Instagram live one day where they were packing up all of the vinyl records to ship out to people because they are very much an indie band, so we love to see them doing that. And at one point, someone in the comments said, hey, can I get mine signed? A bunch of people started DMing them their addresses, and long story short, everyone who ended up DMing them their address got a signed copy. So I just thought that was a cool thing where if you just so happened to catch that live stream, you got the chance to get your copy signed. And that is why we should all support independent artists. Thank you. And finally, the last record I have to show you in this video is not even a full album. This is Inside by the Rex. The full title of the album is going to be Inside Outside, but we still don't have Outside or any news of when it's even going to come out. So even with the 2-month gap it took me to finally finish filming this video, nothing. We love that. No offense to the Rex if you're watching this. I love you guys, I promise. That is it for this video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and turn on post notifications if you want to be notified for whenever I put out the vinyl collection update for next year, or technically this year, but it'll be out next year, or maybe the year after that. I don't know. And also make sure to subscribe to my main channel if you haven't already, which I feel like it's really weird if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, so do that. Please. I put out a new video over there over 2 months ago when this one should have been out, so feel free to watch that. And I'm also hoping to put out at least 2 more videos over there this year. That might age really badly, but what can you do? That is all I have for today, and remember, save Ferris.